when a human is deeply uncertain there, we often put ourselves back on certain footing, sure footing. We don't want people to know what we're insecure or uncertain around. And that makes sense. The challenge is we miss opportunities to see those aspects of ourself or to tap into the energy that that part of ourself is attuned to in the world. And so we miss so much when we protect our ego and we want to be certain and we put ourselves back on that certain footing. We can't sit with the uncomfortableness of, oh, I don't know. I feel uncertain. I'm not sure of myself in the situation. When we don't allow ourselves to be there in the midst of whatever material is presenting itself to us, we miss so much. We miss out on all of the learning that can come from just being with that.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, the big aha in all this, I would say there was two different things that I really came away with, which piggybacks on what you just mentioned. And that is it's a leverage point to be able to make peace with uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like, can we do that? Can we make peace with uncertainty if it's inevitable? Right. And that's why in that program, talking about personality types and remaining optimistic, it's not figuring out some way to game our psychology so that we never feel uncertain, because I don't actually think that that's possible. It's making peace with uncertainty and that it's inevitable. Yeah. And going, okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to have uncertainty, even if it's never comfortable, something that I can stretch myself and make a little bit more part of my comfort zone.
Yes, because people that don't do that, don't create the comfort with uncertainty, are hackable personalities. Not by themselves, but by others.
Right.
People that know what they're doing will come into your life and they will hack you and get you to do a bunch of stuff maybe you didn't want to, betray yourself, commit to things you didn't want to do. Like, I think these like politicians, people in charge, groups of people will do this to each other all the time. So, and we call ourselves personality hacker, but truly it's not just helping you as the listener hack your own personality. It's also helping you not be hackable by understanding how you're wired, how you tick. And again, getting a hold of this uncertainty piece makes you less hackable than if you don't. Because if you continually avoid, not only are you not going to see the opportunities coming up, but now you're a sitting duck in a lot of ways. So we talked about that INTP who doesn't maybe want to look at the harmony, inferior, or 3-year-old process. I'm just using INTPs as an example. It could be any type. This is just particular to INTPs or ISTPs. And now they won't look at it. They don't have the opportunities that surface there. They might have black and white rules, but then the rest of it they don't really attune to. They're exposed and open to ending up in codependent relationships. Outsourcing this part, somebody that's more emotionally with it can come in, hack their personality, manipulate them, and then 5 years goes by and they're like, how did I get in this dynamic? Why am I with this person or these people or this group, or what happened here? I feel very codependent and I'm not myself anymore. And they've lost a sense of who they are and what they're here to do in the world. So I think that's the other important message, is that it's a protective thing so that you are actually sovereign in your life. You're in control of your experience. Other people aren't.
Yeah. Well, I think of a lot of thinking dominant types, or people who lead with a thinking function, ETJs and ITPs. Their feeling functions can be quite hackable, and I think they know that about themselves.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening, and for feeling types, it's the opposite. You know, if they are leading with feeling, their minds can be hacked by idea viruses, right? Or like things in the outside world that just kind of go, this works, and go, okay, I guess I have to do that then. And then there's, versions of this for every type. Not making peace with uncertainty. The reason why I think, as you mentioned, people get hackable is because they're seeking certainty at all costs. Yeah. Right. Like we mentioned before, people will live lives of quiet desperation in order to not stretch outside of a place of certainty. They'll go with what they know, and we'll do all sorts of self-sabotaging behaviors in order to just have an experience of certainty. So the reason why people become hackable is because they want to borrow the certainty from the other person. Yeah. Yeah. And so anybody who has certainty for sale, right? I'm buying because I don't want to feel uncertain. So that's the first thing. And I think that you just expressed it perfectly.